Are you one of the many busy professionals working in offices day in and day out? Do you wonder how some people grow their wealth fast, retire early, and play on workdays? Well, you're in luck, because Ginny Bolling hosts this show, Pivot to Prosperity, where she interviews people that can do just that. Play on workdays. Many guests have become financially free. She also interviews people that are on their journey and people that are in support roles, like attorneys, contractors, brokers, and others. Commercial real estate is the common element. She is on a mission to be sure busy professionals know they can own substantial commercial properties too, like apartments, self-storage facilities, and others, and not have to do the work managing them. Passive investing is the key. Syndications are the typical method. Tax write-offs are some of the biggest rewards. Ginny and partners find the deals, build a strong team and business plan, then offer the investment opportunities to passive investors. New episodes are released every Tuesday at 12, so watch for new releases. If you want to get involved, let us know. You need to get pre-qualified to hear about most deals. See the show notes for contact information.
Hello, hello. This is Ginny Bolling with Pivot to Prosperity, brought to you by Pivotal Real Estate Investments, where we help investors build wealth and income through commercial real estate that improves communities. And we talk to people of all different walks of life in this, and we have a very special guest today, Julia Anderson. Thank you for coming, Julia.
Thanks for having me. Excited.
Yes, well, she is instrumental for people like us that are putting together deals for people that are raising capital and working in the real estate world. Actually, this is funny. I graduated with a marketing degree way back in the 80s.
Really?
And it was hard to use unless you had a master's back then.
Really?
Yeah, you couldn't hardly get a job unless you had a master's degree back then. And it wasn't anything like it is today, obviously.
Yeah.
So, and I struggle to keep up. I understand the concepts and whatnot, but
Right.
now marketing is what makes the world go round.
Seriously, yeah, and it's always changing, so there's always things to learn. I feel like when people go to college, I feel like they either go to communications or marketing if they don't know what they want to do, you know? So I feel like that's very different from when you were in college.
Yes, without a doubt. I enjoyed new product marketing, and I still
Yeah.
like to stay cutting edge and do new applications, reinvent things. That's
Mhm.
DNA from way back then, actually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, if we get talking on some of it, you'll know.
Yeah, right.
But so I'm going to read your bio. You have an excellent background, and I want to share that with the listeners. And so Julia is with, she's the director of operations at Capital Marketing Officer and is instrumental in placing top tier US based fractional CMOs into real estate businesses to develop and execute custom tailored marketing strategies for real estate investors, with a focus on aligning strategic marketing with capital raising goals. Julia has helped drive client results that have led to the successful raising of over $100 million in capital. Her leadership and operational expertise ensure that every marketing initiative is seamlessly executed, empowering real estate businesses to scale exponentially. And I can tell you, I see her at many conferences, and she is out there and keeping up to date. She knows the current issues. And do you actually develop content too, Julia?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's a great reason to be able to go to all these events then too.
Right. Oh, yeah, definitely. I learn a lot every time.
Oh yeah. I always thought it could be a good business model just going to events for people.
Seriously, yeah.
I like
notes.
learning stuff that much, right? Yeah. But yeah, so tell us what you're working on these days.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm currently also a CMO myself. So I work with a women-led, women-focused real estate fund. So they're absolutely amazing. They focus on education for women in the real estate investing world. So education, with the sound investment opportunity as well, and then building that community around that. And then outside of that, obviously, I'm always looking to help as many people as I can in the real estate investing businesses, capital raisers, operators, syndicators, things like that, to really just help them get a system in place when it comes to marketing, so they can just get constant lead flow with potential investors. The number one thing that I hear all the time is that I don't have a system of how to raise capital, or I don't have a system of how to get investors to me, you know. So that's exactly what we provide, is that 6-month marketing system. It's obviously the marketing is a whole machine. It's not just one thing. It's not just, you know, social media. It's putting all the pieces together to make it work for you. So that's really what I want to do, is just help as many people as I can with that.
Now, when you say CMO, I'm not sure I know what you're saying. What is CMO?
Chief Marketing Officer.
Ah,
Mhm.
okay. So yes, that's all very important. And we both are part of at least one of the same masterminds, where
Yes.
Race Masters, where we
Mhm.
concentrate on how to put that together. And it's funny
Right.
because I've been in it a few years, over 2 years, and while I understand and know how to put it in, I fight so much being a copycat, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's a
Definitely.
real deal in my mind that I
Mhm.
gotta change it up, and
Mhm.
a purpose of a mastermind and what the mentors say is don't change it, just
Right. Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Don't reinvent the wheel. But with what you said earlier, you're very much cutting edge. So you know, are always thinking of new ways to present your opportunities and to market yourself. So that's always good. That's not a bad thing.
Except it takes longer to implement.
It does. Yes. Very true.
There's a price to pay for that, for
Yeah.
sure. But so yes, that's very interesting. So what made you get into this space?
So, yeah, like you said, I was a part of a mentorship, and that was very focused on raising capital and marketing. I learned so much. It was awesome. Met wonderful people. I don't think we were in it at the same time, but obviously, that network in general is just a great network. Even though I'm not in it, I still talk to people pretty much every day that are in it, and built those amazing relationships through that. But you know, I was in those Zoom calls, and you know, they're telling you how to do it, but the majority of these people on the calls either have W-2s, they don't have the time to execute, you know, an entire marketing plan, or you know, they just don't have the expertise to do that. They, you know, and more like an analysis paralysis. It's very hard. You know, when you come into this space, you don't really realize that you are a real estate investment company, but you're also a marketing company. Like, you're marketing your opportunities, you're marketing yourself all the time. So it's a heavy lift. Marketing in general in this industry is a very heavy lift. So that's how Capital Marketing Officer was born. We basically place these years and years and years of experienced chief marketing officers in the real estate industry that have a proven track record of, you know, raising millions of dollars and generating leads. So we place those people into those businesses to craft that marketing strategy and then execute it for you. So they take a lot of that marketing piece of the puzzle off of the plate, so you can focus more on why you really got into this place with real estate, you know, focusing on the deal flow, focusing on all of that other stuff where we handle the marketing piece of it.
Well, so where do you end up getting most of the leads from for capital raisers? Now we're going to talk mainly the capital raisers. Marketing
Okay.
across, we talked about all industries.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody needs it.
Yeah.
Right now, we're going to be talking about commercial real estate or
Mm-hmm.
residential, but capital raising for real
Mm-hmm.
estate.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, the majority of the leads that we find, it's very different depending on the different target audiences, right? Because that's the number one thing that we deeply define when we go into businesses, is to really iron out who is your target audience, who are the people that you're trying to help, what are their demographics, what are their psychographics, what are their pain points, because that will craft your entire messaging and craft your entire brand, right? So it is really different between the different target audiences, but I would say LinkedIn right now is a super hot market of generating leads, of building your personal brand, of connecting with other people in the industry, learning about other opportunities and things like that. I think LinkedIn is a gold mine, and it's been working really well for us.
Yeah, I would have to agree too. And part of it is because I think the key to this message that we're talking about is that everybody can benefit investing in commercial real estate. So how do you get the
Absolutely.
word out, right? The
Yeah.
most serious people, in my mind, especially my peers, are on LinkedIn. That's the only
Mm-hmm.
platform with serious people.
Right, exactly. And you know, like the filtering aspect of it, if you pay for premium, a lot of people are paying for LinkedIn Premium, which comes with the sales navigator aspect of it, that you can filter and filter down and really define your target audience and have a list of thousands of people literally in less than 30 seconds. So that aspect of it alone is just absolutely amazing for targeting. And yeah, everyone, yeah, that's doing well, I think, is on LinkedIn and just constantly building their personal branding, allowing their potential investors to build relationships with them, because that's the whole basis of this industry, right? It's just building relationships. You know, it's a long game.
So that's laborious though, too, isn't it? LinkedIn, one person at a time. You might be able to get all these leads from Sales Navigator, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then what do you do with them? What do you recommend people do? You
Yeah.
download them?
Yeah, so there's so many different strategies out there. I know, you know, Neil Bawa has his own strategy, but you know, he has an army of virtual assistants. So I don't really recommend doing that for you know, smaller teams and such. But I think just connecting with those people and getting them into your ecosystem, and if you are consistently posting, if you're consistently engaging with other people, your stuff will be seen to those people, and they need to decide if they want to engage with you or not. It's not something that, you know, you can be a car salesman. You know, there's obviously legality and stuff that goes along with that, but that's just not going to work. So you know, just really perfecting your messaging and crafting that messaging around, you know, positioning yourself as the solution provider for these people that you're connecting with. And then, you know, hopefully they're going to engage with you if they're interested. But as long as you are consistent and you're consistently targeting your target audience, then they will come to you.
So I work on that, and we're going to go over to the other platforms too. But while we're talking about
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn, I've had Sales Navigator for a long time because I
Yeah.
didn't know how to download them, and I finally got
Right.
that going. But
Mm-hmm.
so then there's also what to do with that, and of
Right.
course. But do you feel like it all has to be the actual operator or somebody very close to
Mm-hmm.
the individual profile of that profile, or can you
Yeah.
figure it out easily enough?
Yeah, that's a great question. If I can, you know, within my power, convince someone that they should be the ones doing this, and I know it's a heavy lift, and I know that it is like most people swear off social media, they don't want to be on it, it's a waste of time, but I can't like put this into other people's mind enough that the time that you spend on LinkedIn, like you will see an ROI on that. Like no matter if you're just building relationships with other people in the community or in learning what other people are doing and just seeing what other people are doing, that will, you know, will put you ahead of the rest, and give you some more ideas and such. And I think we help a lot with just crafting the messaging and just making sure that the messaging is important, and is targeted. And you know, that's not something that we can just come up with out of the blue, because the important part of the messaging is also storytelling and, um, you know, weaving in the stories of the person that we are, you know, personifying, the person that we're posting for, making sure that it's personable, you know, making sure that people actually read it, you know, stop the scroll. So that is very much the CMO and the operator or syndicator. That's very much them doing that together. And then we can, you know, post it and make sure it gets posted and, you know, put it on all the other social medias, etc. But yeah, I think a lot of people are using AI to comment and engage on other people's posts, and I think a lot of people are seeing through that, at this point in time. And it's I think it's hurting more than helping, to be honest, because you're just checking the boxes. But like I said at the beginning, this industry is all about building relationships. If people are going to invest with you, they're going to have a relationship with you prior to that. You know, you're not going to meet someone yesterday and they're not going to invest with you tomorrow. So it's a long game. it's not going to happen overnight. It's something that you have to stay consistent with. And if you can and you have the time to be on LinkedIn and to do it yourself, then do it.
Yeah, I agree. Every time I go on myself, I can see that my assistant wouldn't know how to respond to certain things.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I ask her to let me know when there's some good ones that I need to
Mm-hmm.
go look at.
Yep.
I do ask her to show support for the people she knows I like and follow and trust
Mm-hmm.
and want to
Mm-hmm.
help build their following too. So there's a certain amount of those thumbs up and claps I have,
Yes.
but yeah, it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I spend about an hour at the very minimum on LinkedIn a day. So it's honestly one of the very first things that I do in the morning. My post will go live at 8 a.m. and then I'll stay on the app and engage with people till 9. So yeah.
Exactly where I was going with this.
Yeah.
How long is the minimum and when should you post for people like us?
Yeah. So it honestly it's tricky. It's not even at the beginning I thought it was like, okay, you have to post at the same time every day, but I'm really learning that it's really not about when you post at all. It's is the post good? You know, do you have a good hook and are you being consistent? Are you engaging with other people? I think those are the most important. So but honestly, mornings and it's dependent on your time zone too. So obviously, I'm Eastern, so 8 a.m. is, you know, when everyone will pretty much see it because, you know, we're one of the first people waking up and everything, and other people are waking up. So, you know, you'll be at the it'll hopefully it'll be seen way more than if you were going to post later at night. Or honestly, LinkedIn kind of falls off after noon Eastern time for me, so maybe that's a little bit later in the day for other people in other time zones. But I would say probably the earliest to post, like if I have a client that's on PST and I post at 6 a.m., so early morning is definitely the best time, I would think, for everyone in general.
So there's so much that goes into that, I think.
There is.
And
Mhm.
I haven't seen studies on it. I'd love to know if there are any, but like for me, if I'm at work, and this is part of the quandary, right?
Right.
Investing is personal,
Mhm.
but here we are sending them stuff at work. Now, if they're a full-time and
Right.
they're fine, but a lot
Mhm.
of people are working. And so
Mhm.
I try to ask, do you want me to interrupt your work with,
Oh, yeah.
should I send
Yeah.
it at lunchtime? So I post my podcast at noon,
Okay. Yeah.
so that they can watch it if they want at
Mhm.
lunchtime and
Mhm.
whatnot. But yeah, so I try to target around 10 so that it
Mhm.
has time to be seen or scroll and they can see
Yep.
roughly at lunchtime is my
Yeah.
thinking. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that, like you said, you first of all, you're asking people. That's awesome. That's like the best way to do it is to just ask, you know, and then just you're taking in mind your target audience who probably has a 9 to 5 and you know goes to lunch around noon. So as long as you're thinking that through and you're being a little bit strategic with it, and also just like test it out, you know, for like 2 weeks, try in the morning. For the next 2 weeks, try in the afternoon and see, you know, take the data and see what's performing better and what isn't, and go from there.
And you're looking at number of impressions. That's
Yeah, impressions on LinkedIn is definitely the one to look for.
we could talk a long time about that, probably. Mine go
There's
up
so
and
many, yeah, there's so many different things to look at on LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn's are a bit weird. I think Instagrams like make more sense. But yeah, at least they have data for you. I mean, as long as you're keeping track of all that and just being consistent where you can, then you'll see what works and what
let's
doesn't.
let's switch to Instagram and after one more question.
Hmm.
The way to, and hopefully you're okay with saying this on the air.
We'll
The
see.
way to get the names and addresses and emails and all that off of LinkedIn,
Hmm.
if you're going to go ahead and try to do any kind of mass emails to these
Hmm.
people, even in a different way, not a drip.
Yeah. Right.
I know that you can get banned from LinkedIn, so you don't want to
Hmm.
use something that's going to get you banned.
Yeah.
Is Dripify, for instance, one of the ones that, I mean, I hear of a few different names that people use. Is there a safe one?
I honestly, we don't even we don't do that. Just for the just to make sure that we don't get banned because you literally never know. I've heard Dripify is interesting. Expandy, I've never had any problems with that one. But yeah, we don't really do that because we don't want to just scrape emails from people that we don't know that haven't like raised their hand. We can do things where you can like copy put that into different ads and like kind of copy the demographics of these people and whatever, but and target audience them on an ad. But yeah, we honestly kind of steer away from that because we don't think that that works very well. It doesn't work very well, to be honest, because they haven't raised their hand. They didn't opt in at all. So the best way that I think to just be top of mind and to potentially get their email and to have their hand raised is to just be consistent on posting and connect with them and maybe do some cold messaging here and there, but nothing leading with asking, more of just providing value and just letting them know what you do
Yeah.
rather than like, oh, sign up for my email list. So yeah, we kind of stay away from all that stuff.
Well, I guess we'll try. I paid for Sales Navigator so long, it's like I gotta at least get something for it. So
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
somebody that's
Yeah. Yes. Yes, you will. And
and
it's kind of expensive. So definitely like
yeah,
use
and
it.
I'm just in the process. I haven't done anything yet, but I'm gonna have to be very careful with the messaging. You're right, because
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so going to Instagram.
Hmm.
I go crazy that all these people are saying connect. Not like I have a ton of people asking to connect, but I don't want to accept if I don't know who they are.
Yeah,
Some of them I get some weirdos too, right?
totally. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what you like subject yourself to when you go on Facebook and when you go on Instagram and like seriously, like you just have random people and like who knows if they're real or if they're bots or not. So yeah, that's tricky. I mean, LinkedIn is working so well, and that people are accredited on LinkedIn. I mean, don't know 100%, but you can,
Better chance. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Better likely.
So, like, we will be present on those other apps, but we're so much more focused on LinkedIn. And so, are you as yourself, Ginny Bolling, or are you at Pivotal Real Estate Investment?
So I went like Hunter says, and I
Hmm.
feel like I want to be known as the person you can trust, because
Right.
who knows if I screw up in my company, I have to change
Right. Yeah.
the name, or
True. Yeah.
whatever, I get blacklisted. I still need, and I
Yeah.
already did that, but I still need to be able to be found. So I do everything
Absolutely.
under my name.
Okay. Yeah. And I think that's the better way to do it. As long as you're like not I wouldn't, if you're like accepting everyone, which I would accept everyone, but if you are accepting everyone, just don't post anything that's like personal, like super personal at all. Just
Yeah.
kind of focus on, who you're helping, what you do, and things like that. Because yeah, there are just some weird people on Instagram and
So that segues us right into Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah.
All personal, right?
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
because I do a lot of posting of the business stuff in Facebook. And I guess the rule of thumb I've heard is don't do that too much or they'll remove your account. So no more than 3 in a row is what I used to hear.
Hmm. Hmm.
I've gone past that, I know, but the stuff I say is kind of maybe could be interpreted as personal, some of it. So
Hmm.
maybe I'm not as bad as I think, but it's funny. I was gonna say I had so many people that did respond to my stuff before I got so into posting all the time, right?
Hmm.
And I don't
Yeah, like
post
your
now.
friends and family, kind of
Yeah.
like people that you know. Yeah.
They don't react to the business stuff anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah.
guys.
Right. Please for my engagement. I'm beg of you. No. Yeah. Facebook we focus more on using that as a like a tool to build community because it's because of the groups and everything that you can, customize. Everything is so customizable on Facebook. And yeah, that's a really good way. We use Facebook a lot for just like more building a community. So maybe that looks like if you're focusing heavy on education, then it could be real estate investing with Ginny Bolling and things like that. And so that's something that you can invite people to, or they can join, and then they're in this group with other people. And community. There's so many positives to building a community around this and in this industry in general. So that's kind of what we focus on with Facebook.
Ding, ding, ding. You said something pivotal, and that's Facebook. I should go into groups and
Yeah.
post groups. I don't
Hmm.
do that.
Oh yeah. There's so many groups on Facebook. I would love to know the number because it's probably in the billions.
Give me some names to look up.
Oh my gosh, I can't remember them off the top of my name, top of my head. I mean, Hunter has his, every mastermind has
Cashflow, yeah.
their own Facebook group. Literally just type in real estate investing groups. There will be so many that come up. I'm probably in 40 of them. That's why I can't remember any of the names, but there's so many out there. I'm in a lot of women focused ones. There's Network Connect is one that's really good. That's women focused. There's Rain, REIN.
Oh, I know Rain. Yeah.
Yeah, they're in there. There's Wealth Woman Wise. That's Courtney and Catherine's group. Yeah, I mean, there's so many.
Yeah. I didn't catch the Wealth Women Wise summit, but
Hmm.
I need to
Yeah,
get
it's great.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they have one. They had one, maybe it was today. Yeah, I think it was today actually. I couldn't go to it, but yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been on social media enough to know what's going on.
Exactly. You gotta be on.
Still.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't want to miss another one. Well, and I lead a women's group. I'm part of our local RIA,
Oh yeah,
real
great.
estate investor group. And
Mhm.
so we have WIRE, Women in Real Estate.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
And then we've
love
got
the acronym.
FIRE, which are female in real
Mm,
estate.
okay, nice. Loving the acronyms.
Yeah, because FIRE is also for freedom and
Right.
real estate,
Yeah,
right?
that ties in
But
very well.
so, okay, let's go to real quick. So it's funny, we talk about the hook and this and that, and it's because
Hmm.
we all are trying to get the attention with the right story to help people remember what it is they need to do to
Right.
improve their lives, right?
Exactly. Yes.
So you got the automations, we'll get back to that, but
Okay.
lead magnet, what do you like to do with those, or what do you think is pertinent today?
Yeah, I hate saying this. I will say it probably 3 other times, but it is just so different based on your target audience. So I'll give you an example. We have a client that he's a seasonal contractor. So he does one of the things he does many things, but one of the things he does is just snow removal. So obviously that is just within the winter time. So he created this fund that their target audience is seasonal contractors because obviously they get an influx of money during the season that they're working, and then a downflux whenever they are not working in that season where they can work. So he has created this fund that if you invest with me you'll get dividends, that will offset or help you have more steady income throughout the entire year. So for that, we created a calculator that is, interactive. It's on the website. People can put in, how much they invest, how much would they get paid out, based on their return, based on the opportunity that he has, how much would they get paid out, and then it's kind of put into a like calendar of basically like showing them like, hey, if you invest with me, this is what your income by the end of the year would look like and stuff like that. So it's very interactive. It tells exactly who this is for and exactly how it will improve your situation or solve the problem of I have this influx of income and then I'm kind of dry for the rest of the year. How do I fix that? well, this is your answer and this is your calculator, and here it clearly shows you how it will improve. So that's one of the lead magnets that I personally love. I think it's great. I think ebooks are a little much, or just like books in general. I think they're good to have if you can do it. I know they're kind of expensive, so I think it's good to have if you can do it in a cost effective way. But I think just like shorter, because the majority of people just don't have time, and that's why they're not investing in real estate, because they don't have time to understand it and figure out, and they just want other people to do it for them. So that's why
Right.
they're in the stock market. So I think quicker things that are just easily consumable and just is very concise and just paints the picture of here's who it's for, here's what we're offering, here's the solution. Do you like it or not?
I'm thinking, I've written a bunch of articles, and some people say they're so long they should be ebooks, but it's only
Mm.
like 6 or 8 pages.
Oh my gosh, that's so long.
That's what?
That's long.
Is it long? Oh,
I think so.
well, I got some pictures, but
Oh, well, there you go.
so I'm thinking I need to read it,
Yeah.
and make it easier to consume.
Where
And
do you post those on?
well, I've been saving them as giveaways. I only recently started posting. I think I flubbed it. I tried to post an article to LinkedIn last week,
Yeah. Hmm.
and I think it just appeared as a post.
Okay.
Is it,
Yeah.
isn't it supposed to say so and so posted an article and you can access it here?
So, you write the article and then it will prompt you to like share it, obviously, as a post. So basically it has like your post or like the caption part, and then underneath it should have the link to the article. And then they'll click the article and then it'll go to like the, article format of, by Ginny Bolling from Pivotal Real Estate Investments, and then the article.
I don't think I did that. I think it just looked
Mm,
like a regular post.
just look like a post. See, I am gonna say something, because I have, I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. We've already covered that. I think people's posts are getting way too long. I think
I agree.
yeah, I'm
That's
like,
why I didn't want it to be a post.
yeah,
I
that makes
wanted
sense.
it to say there's
Exactly.
an article over
Article.
there.
Yeah, click on the article. Yeah, to learn more. Yeah, I think people's posts on LinkedIn are just getting so long that even and it's like my job, I'm like, I can't read this. I'm so sorry, but I will scroll to the bottom. I will probably still comment, but I can't read half of that.
And I used to hate when it said see more, and I hold my breath. Please don't be a lot,
Oh,
right?
right. Yes, please don't be. I'll have to scroll for like the next 2 minutes. But the articles are nice too, because it should tell you how long the read is. So it should say, 3 minute read or 5 minute read or something like that, which is very nice to know, I think.
Can I make it an optional? I'll read it for you.
Maybe
That would be novel,
that
right?
would be cool. Yeah. And do like a little like podcast situation or like Audible, yeah,
Or
situation.
Loom. I'll do Loom
Bloom.
and
There you
talk
go.
fast. I'll read fast.
Yes. Yeah. That's nice.
Not that I have the
Smart.
5 minute limit, but yeah.
Very cutting edge of you, Jenny.
All right. So CRM
Yeah.
management. So, well, what kind of platform do you like to play on?
I like Go High Level.
Me too.
Yeah, it's
And do
easy.
we should talk about the different platforms and
Hmm.
if you're able to go between.
I know Active Campaign is another one that I've worked with.
You're supposed to elaborate.
Oh, Active Campaign is one that I've worked with in the past. That one's good. I like it. It's expensive, I think, for because you can do pretty much everything and go high level as you can in Active Campaign. So, like HubSpot, like all the other ones, I think are just a little too much and too expensive for like what you need to do. Because I don't think what we're doing is, you know, too elaborate. It's not like we're like, a huge corporation that needs to use like Salesforce and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I've heard some people use Keep. I've
Right.
heard that's a good one. I mean, I don't think MailChimp really does enough. I've seen people like use MailChimp and another CRM. I've seen that a lot. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Go High Level. I think it's easy. I think it's quick. I think everything, if you're starting out and everything can be in one place. You can have your website there, you can have, your landing pages there, real program. I mean, everything can be in one place, which is very nice and very convenient.
Have you ever heard of anybody running out of space on Go High Level?
I have not.
Yeah, I haven't either. So now we know that there's sub accounts and sub accounts. It's a white
Mm.
label type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have your own account or are you under somebody else?
So we just use we don't say, hey, this is our CRM. Like we just use whatever,
Whoever the client is,
either whatever the client wants, whatever the client already has. We usually, if they're starting from nothing, usually go with Go High Level, but it's up to, the client if they want to add something else that Go High Level doesn't have, whatever. So yeah, we can use whatever.
So if they don't have one yet,
Mm-hmm.
do you ever set them up on Go High Level?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all
Yeah.
the time. Yep.
So do you ever have to call support is what I'm getting at. Have you ever had to go to support?
Oh yes, I have. Of course.
Any problems?
No, I think their support is actually really good. A lot of them will encourage you to like hop on a Zoom with them, and everyone that I've talked to has been super nice and super helpful. Even the chat once you get to an actual person, because the chat bot and like they like try and help you, but it really doesn't help most of the time. But once you get to an actual person, I've always had great experiences.
Me too. Yeah, for sure. Now, do you have all the social medias coming in, the conversations feed into?
Um, so I have for one of our clients, yes, we do have that. But for me personally and for other people, since we normally just focus on LinkedIn and like I don't their LinkedIn reporting isn't the greatest. So I used to use it for scheduling and everything, but you can do that within the LinkedIn app. So I've just moved everything over to LinkedIn and just do, my own data analysis and just pull that because that's super quick for me to do. And I don't think Go High Level has like the greatest data analysis for all of that stuff. So it really is dependent.
Okay. Okay. So say somebody wants to hire you.
Yes.
What do you want them to do first? And what are you looking at for startup time? What's your typical new client?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's really different, and we've entered into businesses that have just started. They're like, "Hey, I have a name, and that's it. I need you to do everything else." So, honestly, those are really fun. But other times, we've worked with clients that have already raised hundreds of millions of dollars, but they just, sometimes they've started with their friends and family, and they need to explore past that. And so we come in and help set up their entire machine. So it really is dependent on where if they already have a CRM and if they don't. But we always, make sure that their target audience is defined, completely defined, like 1 to 3 dream investor profiles. That's super important. And then audit everything if they do have stuff, just to make sure that the messaging aligns with their target audience and all the research that we've done. And then, but also if they don't have those things, then we'll create it for them. Um, and then optimizing for your CRM is usually the second thing, or creating the CRM is the second thing, because the back end piece of it is so important in the nurturing of your list. If you don't have that, then what's the point of, posting on LinkedIn every day if they don't have a place to go after that? If they haven't raised their hand and you don't have like a nurture sequence, a welcome series, if you don't have those things, then there's not really a point to do the rest. So building all of that out and making sure that your CRM is the backbone of everything. So just making sure that that's all good to go is number 2. Number 3 would be building that personal brand and really start diving in on LinkedIn. And then from there, you learn a lot on LinkedIn on who's engaging, what do they need, what kind of questions do they have, and then from there, recognizing all those, creating the lead magnets that they need to get over the hump and to get them into your CRM and to add value.
So you said a lot of good stuff there. I'm going to pick out one thing in particular, 2 things actually, and then I'm going to ask you the big question about Pivotal, because here
Okay.
we are, we're talking lunch. By the way, I ended up canceling my other appointment because I had so
Oh, you
much
did?
going on today. So it's
Oh, okay.
good.
Got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, don't you have
Yeah,
to
I know.
leave?
Um, so you did, I think I heard you say 1 to 3 different profiles, audience
Hmm.
profiles.
Yeah.
Love that because I thought it was supposed to be one.
Hmm.
And I am, my background, I've been working for government most of my life in eminent
Yeah.
domain, the serious stuff where you're going to court, potentially at any
Yeah.
point in time. And so appraisers and land planners and attorneys are all my peers,
Hmm.
right? So
Right.
kind of serious, like, right?
Yeah.
But when one Christmas, it really hit me that Hunter kept saying, you want to be around people you also like being around. So
Yeah.
niche
Exactly.
down and find the people you like being around. And so while I like those people, I
Yeah.
also like to play pickleball and tennis.
I, I
And
was hoping you were going to say that. I remember you talking about that, your pickleball.
that's right, I told you this before. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm trying to still do that crossover.
Okay. Yeah. How's that going? Have you been? Because I remember, I think we were talking about potentially like hosting a pickleball meetup or something. Did you ever do that?
No, I didn't.
You
No,
should.
I know. Well, I got an arm injury, and I haven't
Oh,
been able to play tennis, but
oh,
then pickleball is
right.
kind of sad because of the it's not bad. I mean, I'm still playing and
Yeah.
I can do all right, but I'm not tournament level right now.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'd
Gotcha.
like to be
Hopefully you'll get back soon.
but yeah, so that's a lot of the people I picked up off LinkedIn. I'm
I love
thinking
that.
I need to really post special stuff for the
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
apartments with pickleball courts,
Yeah.
especially.
Oh my God. I would love that. Of
Yeah.
course. Host a tournament there, like do the whole 9 yards.
Well, I was thinking to do that, but then I was told I can't play in it if I'm hosting it.
What? Yeah, that might, I mean, you can be a judge or the ref or something.
Sponsor, I'll be an
Yeah,
advertiser.
there you go.
Anyway, so the other thing I was going to go back to is how many times a week do you think people should post on
Monday through Friday.
LinkedIn? What's that?
Yeah, I think Monday through Friday
Five
is
days a
good.
week?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that's necessary in this, like, I don't think that's like you have to do 5 days a week. I think, like I said before, the most things that matter is because there's definitely been a point, and I've been at that point too, where it's like I just can't think of anything to post. It's better to not post at all than to put out a post that like doesn't make sense, or it's just, you're putting out a post to put out a post to check the box, right? So the one thing that I do to combat that is just to set up time outside. I like honestly take it very seriously. I shut my phone off. I deep focus onto just creating a content calendar, and I do it at least 2 weeks in advance so I don't run into that problem anymore. But when I was just like coming up with posts on the fly, it's very easy to just be like, I give up. I can't come up with a post today. And it's better to just, like I said, not post if you're, going to put up a post that you doesn't resonate with you, doesn't resonate with your target audience, etc. So I would say 3 to 5 days a week would be a good number.
I'm shooting for 3. Sometimes I'm only 2, but
Hmm.
yeah. And one of them's a freebie because it's just announcing that my podcast went live.
Oh yes, those freebies are always nice though to have that, and that's great. That's great content to put out there and to drive people to. So that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the other thing I was going to ask you, which I ask all of the different
Hmm.
guests,
Hmm.
is there a pivotal person or event that brought you to where you are today or pushing you towards a certain goal?
Yeah, I think a pivotal event for me is that pushed me to where I was today is it was a past, it was very long ago. It was a past employer of mine where I asked for a raise because I thought I deserved it, and uh, I got it, and then it was taken away from me. And at that moment, I was like, wow. this person has so much power over me. And I think this can resonate with a lot of people, a lot of real estate investors, because I think they've come to this conclusion a lot too, is that, you know, this person, my boss or the founder or whoever, signs your checks, has a ton of power over me. And, I work so hard and I think that I add a ton of value to this company, but no matter, what I do, I could be laid off tomorrow, or I could not get that bonus, or I could not, get the raise. So that led me to years later working for myself and being my own boss and having everything in my power. And I think that's what a lot of real estate investors have done too. They've realized that, they've recognized, I don't have any control, I don't have the power here, but I can. And other people can have power too if they invest passively and offset their income with more income, and just have a plan B essentially. I think that's super important, and I think that's definitely pivotal to always have that plan B and to have more of control
Yeah.
over your outcomes essentially.
Especially if it can bring you financial freedom to where you don't even have to work.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah, right.
Yep. And
Yeah.
it's happened for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's the goal, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. Well, great. All right. Well, so why don't you tell people how they can reach you? We'll put it on the show notes, but remember, some people might be only listening, so spell.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, so I'm the most active on LinkedIn. I'd like to think that I post some really good capital raising marketing tips. So follow me on LinkedIn, connect with me. I'd love to connect with you and get to know you. And yeah, you can find me at Julia Anderson. Um, and then another thing that I want to point people to is on the website, capitalmarketingofficer.com. It has a pop-up that you'll see within like the 5 seconds that you get on the page. And basically it's a form, but you will receive a marketing audit. So if you're a capital raiser and you're kind of stuck in your marketing, you're not sure where to go, this tool is a really good way to walk you through the different pieces of the marketing puzzle. So it has things like your LinkedIn profile, your content, your email marketing, your CRM, etc., your website, and just has basically a checklist. So once you complete that, I think it's a really great way to really understand, where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, where you could need some more help. And I'm happy to walk you through that as well, and give you some good tips and some good advice of where to go from there. But yeah, sign up for that marketing audit, and then yeah, hopefully that will help you with your capital raising goals.
Now, for pricing, is there any
Mhm.
kind of flat rates or anything you can tell people, or is it all pretty much you have to get with somebody and see where they're at?
Yeah, so we have different things that go on all the time. So definitely get with me, and I'd love to. I talk with everyone before they join us, just because I want to make sure that we're a good fit for you and we can actually help you. But from now till the end of the year, we are offering 1 month free. So it's a retainer based service. So you pay at the beginning, and then we work a certain amount of hours. We found that the sweet spot is 20 hours a month, and then yeah, 6 month contracts, and then you can go on after that as well. But basically our whole goal is to set you up for the long run and for scalability as well. We want to make sure that everything is working, everything that we set up is working for you, and you're on your way to generating consistent new potential investors and leads.
So 20 hours a month, 6 month contract, and how much is that?
It's $4,000 a month.
4,000 per month. Okay.
Yep. Normally it's 5K, but I'll bring it down for your listeners.
All right. Okay. Very good. Well, that helps everybody to know.
Yeah. Yes,
Very
it
good.
does.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
on, and I will put all that in the show notes, and
Thank you. It's been awesome. I appreciate it.
I can attest to your efforts to stay in the know, because you definitely are working at knowing what's pertinent, and I'm sure you come up with good content and all. And
Yeah.
I've been doing it the hard way with I've gone through lots of different VAs, and this one I've trained so much now, I'm like,
Yeah.
I know that you're there, and who knows,
Yes.
we
Yeah.
may, but I highly recommend you. So
I love it. Thank you. I appreciate that.
you're welcome. All right. Thanks again. Take care.
Thank you.